Hey
Hello.
everybody, this is the Fancy Nymphs here, uh, talking about our spicy book, and we're happy to be here. And introduce yourself.
Hello. I'm Jasmine Fleur, the sweet one in this group. Nah, we're both sweet, but as you can tell by my voice and personality, I'm the more reserved and shy one. And so I hope that you'll enjoy, I guess, that while we're going through our spicy chapters today.
Definitely, and of course, I'm Jazz, the Jazelle Lord, the spicy nymph, I guess you could say, because as we discussed last time, I don't really care about the romance part. I'm here for the dark romance part. So, of course, we're going to get both of our perceptions on each point of view of the books and describe it. And I'm happy to share this little bit about ourselves with everybody.
Yeah.
And of course, we're going to be talking about the book. The Never King, which is a spicy retelling of Peter Pan. Everybody's aged up, spicy, saucy, and everything nice. And of course, before we even get fully started, I do want to make sure that our discussion is going to be having triggers in it. So please, 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 if you're uncomfortable, stop. Peace out. We'll talk to you another time if you want. As you can see at the bottom, they talk about multiple things, such as kidnapping, mishandling of mental health. These things are important to us. We take these seriously. So please don't push yourself. The books are always there. You can get it from the library. You can get it from. I get mine from Everand, so I don't know where everybody else gets it, but I love Everand. But yeah, if there's anything, you can just reach out to us and we can keep talking. Hey, how are you? So Jasmine, are you excited about talking about the book today?
I am.
I
I'm a
am
little
too.
nervous because now we're getting into the nitty gritty of the
Mhm.
content that we've been reading.
Mhm.
And so I'm a little nervous about talking about it only because I don't get to talk about smutty books like ever. So this is
Definitely.
new for me.
Mhm. Well, that's exciting. Like me, I'm a little of the opposite side. I love talking about schmutty things and spicy things. So I think it's a little more thing. I think just getting everybody else's idea of how they feel about it because it translates to one version for me and then everybody else is something else where like what is it like, oh yeah, those are red flags. I'm like, I don't see that as a red flag. I think I can change him. I
You
think
can
he can
say,
love me. I can train. It'll be fine. But yeah, no, like you shouldn't never, never. If you fall in love with these guys, girls, or otherwise inside of these books, be mindful of yourself. Enjoy your life, though. That's what I say.
enjoy your life. Yes.
Enjoy your life. So I guess I would love to start just getting. I believe we're going to be trying to do what chapters 1 to 10, possibly up to 15, depending on how far we get today. Um, of course, we're going to be starting with the whole Winnie is our main character, the main female character. Uh, Definitely.
Letitia
He's
says
a
he's
good
a
man,
good man,
Savannah.
Savannah.
He's a good man, Savannah.
And
No.
Letitia is the co-host, my co-host of Fabians and Friends. So
Hi.
hello, shout out to you.
Welcome, welcome. But definitely, I think the especially with this retelling, I think since we knew the lore and we talked a little bit about it last time, everybody knows about Peter Pan, Neverland to the point. Like not everybody has a different interpretation, but again, if you know Wendy, this is her descendant. So her descendant is Winnie Darling. They have, I would say, a tradition of these women getting kidnapped on their 18th birthday. Um,
Yeah,
and I'm actually gonna pull up a quote real quick that kind of like cemented one of the reasons why I like the book that got me curious about it because why? What is this mess? I'm about to
it is
put
a
that
mess.
up. No, ma'am, even it's such a craziness. But here we go.
Oh, okay. You want me to read it or you want to read it?
Yeah, I was gonna say if you want to read it.
Okay. Today is my 18th birthday, and every darling woman that has come before me has disappeared on this day. Some are gone a day, others a week or a month, but they always return broken, with a varying degree.
Yes. So
Yes.
I think that's one of the things that really intrigued me in the book because again, we always think Peter Pan kind of lighthearted, never growing up, being nice, whatever. And I think what scared me a little bit about it when she was like, all the darlings come back in some form or degree just messed up. And we see that with her mom, Murray. She loves her daughter. I want to say she loves her daughter. I don't condone anything she does, though.
Yeah,
Uh,
she loves her daughter. And then like yes, not them disappearing. Yeah, they do disappear on their 18th birthday. And
mhm,
when he mentions they come back broken, I think in the book, I think within the first couple of pages, she
mhm,
describes her mom and grandma and the grandma before her being
mhm,
diagnosed schizophrenic because people were like, you
mhm.
guys are seeing things, you're saying things that don't make any sense. So there's that. Um, Her mom hired like a shaman to like write all these runes and spells all over the house. I mean, all kinds of extreme measures to like make sure that this boogeyman wasn't going to come for her daughter. So and I think it's ironic that Winnie says, they all come back broken when the very first scene of the book is her getting it on with this boy and being so bored and being like, yeah,
Oh yeah,
my mom's a prostitute, by the way. I'm
yeah,
like, girl.
yeah. I'm like, man, what? Yeah, and I think that was something that the community who read the book already was discussing, like how they didn't like that part, and I was like, no, it shows you from the gate how disconnected she is because even in her mind of middle of her sleeping with pretty much a classmate, somebody who's in her school, and being used as that chick, loosey goosey, fucking Winnie, and which we don't shame. Like, go off, do you if it makes you feel good, whatever you have to do to go through your battles. But she accepted that fate. She was just like, look, I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time, and I'm doing things on my term. And I can definitely say where there is some scariness to that and relatableness, right? Because we all have, like, I feel at one point in time having a moment of self doubt or just not because she doesn't even believe her mom. She's just like, my mom's a psycho. My mom is crazy, whatever, but she loves her mom. She resents her mom though to the key, but she also says, like, how can I be upset when this is her life? So my mom was a prostitute to get by because she couldn't hold down a job, she couldn't do anything. So her best friend, I think, was a prostitute too, and she looked up to her. She was just like, nah, little girl, like, these are not my boyfriends. I use them. It's fine. We love that. Men are trash. Just use them and then you bounce. And I think the craziness about it though is that, like, when she was disconnected, she wasn't excited. She didn't tell anybody she was going to get kidnapped, even though she didn't believe it. And people wanted her. Like, I felt like even though, like, more than likely he was a high school boy, he probably just wanted to fuck. We all know he just wanted to fuck. But at the same time, it was like a longing too, because I think there was a point we'll get to like later in the book. And he's like, hey, yo, like, where you been? She's like, oh, yeah, nah, these are my boyfriends. I can't talk to you no more. Like, what? You played this
Yeah.
man. He was waiting for you, but not
Letitia,
really.
Letitia asks, Winnie is disconnected from her reality. Yes, very much
Yes.
so. Where she doesn't see some of her behaviors as being maybe out of the ordinary or a product of
Mm-hmm.
previous traumas. She
Mm-hmm.
also does not, well, I don't think any of us would believe,
Yeah.
the grandma and mother that have been admitted of saying like, you're gonna get kidnapped on your 18th
Yeah.
birthday. I think we all would have checked out and been like, no, that sounds
Yeah.
crazy,
Yeah.
Um, and Winnie at this point has moved around a lot. Like she does not have a sense of home because, of this boogeyman that's been following her family for generations. And so, for her to actually believe, that fairy tale, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
kind of seems crazy,
Yeah.
given the details. Like, she doesn't really know anything other than what doctors have told her about her mom and her grandma, and the inevitable, what she thinks might be her
Yeah.
going crazy, not her being abducted. So she's thinking this is a genetic thing where, women in my family kind of are crazy.
Yeah.
She's not thinking I'm really going to get abducted by some boogeyman man that's like
Yeah.
older than even my grandma and my great grandma. So yeah.
I think that's the thing too, because one of the reasons why I also love the um the audio version of it, because you get the inflections when she's battling with that, because she's like, I don't believe it, but also like, how did her mom get that way? Like her mom, there's a part, at least in that part of the book, where she's like, the mom's like, oh, it's your birthday, I have to make you a sandwich, and like, I'm gonna make you something, but there's nothing to eat, because the mom is such at a point mentally that she hasn't really worked, there's nothing really to do, so she like tries to protect her daughter, so she puts the whole thing where she kind of locks her daughter up. She does. And of course, we don't love that. That's a negative thing. We don't want to lock up our kids that way, but she also pities her mom and understands, like, my mom loves me. This is the way she's trying to take care of me, but she's also crazy and I don't want to be that way. Because again, if it's genetic, then she's also afraid that maybe on the 18th, that's when it starts, on her 18th birthday, that's when it's going to start. So then, to be happy, Winnie happy in that sense, to move on and see and be so afraid of the boogeyman, and to, like, either hurry up and do it or it's never going to happen. And I think she just wants to rush that part.
Oh yeah, for sure. I know she's tired of hearing it, but at the back of her mind, there's moments where she's like, "But what if?" Like every
Yeah.
now and then, she's kind of contemplating, like, "But what if it really was real?" To the point where I know, like, people invited her to go to a party, and she's like, "I know what they're inviting me for because I'm
Yeah.
that girl."
Yes, I'm that girl.
She's like, yeah, and she hesitates going because she's like, if I go, one, my mom's gonna freak out. She's gonna think I got kidnapped, I got abducted, whatever.
Yeah.
But also, I should probably be at home tonight, just in
Yeah.
case. So it's kind of like a toss up. Oh, and thank you, Regina, for following. And thank you, Curtis. I hope you do
Oh,
enjoy
thank
the
you.
vibes.
But no, definitely. And I think that's why it becomes such a awakening, though, like when he finally comes, Peter Pan comes to pick her up. And he's and the mom is like spaz. She's like, oh my god, it's him. He's like, oh shit, it's you. What's up, girl? Like, he says it more respectful, because I think with Peter, he's been doing this for a while, mind you. This is not just Winnie, this is not just the mom, this is not just the grandmom. This is all the way starting from Wendy, darling. So shit was popping. He was ready. He's like, look, I just want to get this shit done, and that's it.
Oh,
So, but mind you, nobody knows why they're getting kidnapped either, because she tries to talk to the mom, like, okay, so if he's kidnapping us, why is he doing? Oh, I don't know. I forget. I don't know how to do. All I remember is cloudberries. All I remember is like certain like smells of the sea and the lagoon and stuff like that. Which is important later, because you see that, like, even though this is such a daunting thing, the lost boys who are involved in this situation, they also feel pity for them, the darlings. They're like, look, we have to do this. Y'all fucked up, but we know you didn't fuck up. It was your ancestor who fucked up. So we're gonna try to do that. So they try to give them like the little bit of best life, I guess you could say. Not really, because they be chaining them up, but that's another thing.
Yeah. And it's really interesting because we know from knowing that, Peter Pan, the original story that's been around since 1905, I think, and was a play in 1911. There's this play and juxtaposition between innocence and adulthood and all the things that encompass that. So in this sense, we already know that when you turn 18, something terrible is going to happen because you're an adult now. So there's that dread of like, I'm an adult and coming to age, but there's also this underlying fear that someone's coming to make that a problem for you. But like you said, when Pan finally does appear on her birthday as expected, you know, things get shaken up pretty fast. And so her start wasn't a very innocent start to begin with. So that's also something that's different, that contrasts from this fairy tale that we know to this one. It's like her start was not innocent. Even as a young girl,
she's like, I'm fucking. That's it. She's like, I'm fucking. I'm not enjoying it at all, but I'm fucking, and I'm gonna get kidnapped. Oh well.
I'm telling y'all, the first sentence of the book is her fucking.
Yep, it's her fucking.
So perfect. Yeah, like not a very innocent start. So it's going to be interesting how it revs up. Them both still represent a kiss to me. Oh, that's so sweet.
That's so cute.
It's very sweet. That. I wonder what Peter in this Peter would think about that. Yeah.
Look, honestly, probably put it on his penis, like, kiss this. It's like, you can kiss this, Wendy. Like, or what? Bitch.
He's a menace. Yeah, he's a menace.
He is a menace. So, and then the thing is like, ugh, go ahead.
But yeah, that's where we're at the beginning of the book, first chapter. Well, Peter comes in, kicks down the door. He doesn't literally kick down the door, but he arrives on her birthday in the midst of her mom, you know, being in her trance of fear and anxiety. Yeah, he shows up and he's so nonchalant about it. He's just like, hey, good to see you. You look good. Time to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like because he's also like, wow, that's crazy. You guys are living like shit. That's crazy.
Yeah. He's such an asshole.
He is an asshole, but then like he has this moments of humility or whatever, or compassion, where he just booms to the mom, whatever, kidnaps Winnie, has under his arm. He's just smoking a cigarette, and he's just like, wow, she's weak as hell. What's going on with this? Are you sick? And like in his mind, he's not saying anything to her, but he's just like holding her and like, wow, there's something wrong. But there's also something wrong with him, which we're going to figure out later on in the book. So that's another reason why they're so determined to get the descendants so they can figure out their situation, because they're the only one with the key, and she doesn't know. None of the darlings remember. So they'll figure it out.
Oh, Letitia, that's great. Letitia says, that's something interesting because the innocence of a girl's youth is often from a man's imagination and not from someone's actual experience of girlhood, which is so much more of a mess than many people like to believe. Exactly. And that's very, very true.
Oh, definitely.
Very true. There's so much perceived, I don't know, polish when you're a girl, especially if you look a certain way. Yeah.
Especially in these books.
Certain
books. Yeah. The amount of silver hair, brown hair, gold eyes, da 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 da. I'm like, shut up. Like literally, I told you one of the things I don't hate these books. I understand a lot of them are predominantly white characters, right? I understand that. I personally can't imagine that. So once I see fan art or cover art from the author themselves, it ruins it for me if they're not the way I want them to look. So I refuse because in my mind, I'm building them as somebody who I can more relate to. But it's one of those situations though, when they're on their way to Neverland now. What's the first thing he does? I think he just like goes to the treehouse.
Yeah, because he kind of surveys their condition for a second and considers it, and he's like, "Yeah, that's shit." Like, anyway, I have things to do, and so he does not. He gets there, and I feel like, if I'm correct, like everyone's busy. There's a lot going on outside of where he brings Wendy. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing too, is like nobody really cares. Like if they're in the human world or like I guess Winnie's world, nobody pays attention because that they know that the mom's crazy in the neighborhood, and they know that both of them are loose. You know that they're fucking everybody.
Yeah.
So they don't care. They don't give a shit about them. And again, lack of community, because these are people literally crying for help and nobody cares.
Yes.
Um, but when he brings her over to Neverland, I think they still stay with the tradition of like second star to the left or right or whatever. They still go through that whole thing, but then we
Mhm.
start realizing that Pan is weaker, and he's just like, "Ah, I'm so tired. I have to get this done sooner." Salud.
Mhm.
I have to get this done sooner. I have to get this done. I'm tired of being here. All of a sudden, we're realizing as the reader the urgency of what he's doing. He's like, I gotta get this shit done. Until when he gets to Neverland, it's busy there too. Because mind you, if you know anything about Neverland from any past lore or media, that it's a busy island. So you have, I personally feel like the Hook movie really represents my idea of what that whole island looks like, at least that one part. It's
Mhm.
busy. There's pirates on one side, there's Pan's people on the other. Nobody's crossing unless they're selling wares or something. And you see that I think he describes like there's a lot of lost boys around there. However, the treehouse is only meant for Pan, the twins, who are Bash and Vash, Cass, and Vane. That's it. That's the only people that live up there. That's his homies. Nobody touches the homies.
Yeah.
Oh, and Cherry. Cherry, I think, also lives around there, if not in the treehouse, because I know she
And
goes there a lot.
and mind you, the dynamic of the Lost Boys and Cherry, who's random, but at this point
Yeah.
it is random. You'll get to know her later.
Mm-hmm.
But Lost Boys are essentially Peter Pan's court.
Yeah.
So it's not this relationship of a band of boys that are just roughhousing and
Mm-hmm.
being very carefree. No, Peter is about his business. He has an agenda. He has specific goals in mind, and
Mm-hmm.
everyone around him has to fall in line. He's very
Okay.
authoritarian, but at the same time, they don't neglect that same feeling of adventure and danger that Pan loves in the original tales. Like he still wants to fight. He still wants to dominate something,
Mm-hmm.
dominate is
Mm-hmm.
a funny choice of words there, but
Yeah. No, definitely. I think when it comes to, you still
oh,
here?
sorry,
I think
my
you froze a
camera
little
keeps kind of
bit. That's okay.
dipping in and out.
I didn't want to cut you off in the middle of you talking because, like, you brought up a good point. I actually didn't even think about it being his court. That
Mm-hmm.
makes sense because only them are allowed there in the homestead, the castle, if you will, and everything else. And the same thing, like he's feared. The whole lot of them are feared. But Peter Pan is the king of Neverland. Nobody's gonna mess with that. Nobody's gonna fuck with him. We in a few chapters from now, we do see that where he was just like, I don't give a shit, rips a whole guy's heart out. We don't care. He doesn't care. He's like, and I'll do it again. And the guy says, he was like, I'm sorry, I didn't know that was your bitch. He was like, you touched what's mine. I don't care if you didn't know. You touched it. And we're just like, and it's all Winnie's fault, but anyway. Uh
Yeah,
it's
because
that whole thing.
Neverland still has this like, uh-oh, sorry, go
No,
ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead, go ahead.
Oh, I was saying, oh, Damon Salvador coded. Yes, very, very much so.
Yes.
Very much
And we like
so.
that.
There is still this, Neverland doesn't have much rules at all, so they kind of make it up as they go, depending on the people that they're around. And Peter is just the baddest one, so everyone falls in line. But even he has like a very blurry code himself,
Oh
which
yeah.
makes him more dangerous. So yeah, like the culture is there's no rules, but there's rules depending on what I say.
No, exactly. It's wherever the wind blows with him. Like some days he's just really
Mhm.
chill, and some days he's really not. Like I said, I think the ones to be feared the most, of course, is going to be Pan. Vane is definitely number two. But even Pan, like, he's like, I don't even know how I got this guy to chill with me because he could
Yeah.
fuck me up. And he's just like, yeah, I'll do it again. And he's like, I bet you fucking won't. And he's like, All right. And I like that. I personally like that whole thing with them too, at least, because we see that in the other books later where they're kind of like challenging each other, but also know their places. Even though
Yeah.
they're both, yeah, like beautifully. And then the same thing with the twins. They're just happy to be there, tying bitches up. They're just like,
Yeah.
we're going to feed you pancakes and tie you up. It's going to be great. It's going to be fine.
Yeah.
But they're bad boys too.
I'd say like if they were chess pieces, of course Pan is the king.
Yeah.
I would say Vane would be the knight. He's a little bit
Mm-hmm.
more mobile than the others.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say the twins would be like your rook and your bishop. So they have their own assignments and roles, but there is like a hierarchy there, like you were saying, where you got to fall in line. Otherwise, it could be very dangerous. But yeah, I feel like Vane to me is the wild card because, like you said, even Peter is like, I ain't gonna fuck with him too much, but I'm still gonna fuck with him enough to know, like, this is my house and what I said is what I said.
Exactly. Exactly. And he's like, sir, I think it's definitely something that I love the whole playfulness of them. Like, even though also all the other Lost Boys will not fuck with them, any of them, but the three will fuck with Pan. They'll drink his alcohol in front of him. They'll be fucking trying to fuck his bitches without, they don't care. They're like, we're getting bitches and you're not. How do you feel about that? And he's like, yo, shut the fuck up. And he's like, that's crazy. And then, but again, it's also, I think it's all playful, like friendly situation too, because that's how they are.
Yeah,
I
they're
think they
still
have to be
brothers.
rough.
Yeah, they're still bonded as brothers, just like all the Lost Boys in other iterations, They're still locked in and they're still gonna be assholes to each other, but it's very playful until it's not.
And I think the good thing about it too, we don't really see that until later books when they start really trying to go their separate ways, because that's the whole point later on after they succeed with everything, is like, how are they going to achieve their own goals? Because they all have their own goals at the end, and I think that's what really holds them together as well, not just their friendship, because they don't have to be there. They don't need anybody else. But Pan doesn't really need anybody else, but at his current state, he does. Which I think Winnie, when she gets thrown on the bed by Peter and gets tied up, and the twins Bash and Cash is like, you have to watch her now, you're the babysitter, and they're like, what the fuck, we hate darlings, we don't want to fuck with them. And I think it's a crazy situation where we see not so much crazy situation, but relatable situation. Winnie is starting to come to terms with, wow, this is a real situation. My mom was not crazy. How do I survive now? Like, how do I get out of this situation? Especially because she's in a whole other dimension, a whole other realm.
Yeah.
How is she going to get out? So it goes into a state where she starts to look for the exits and how she can manipulate by using the tools that she has. And she's like, who do I have to fuck before I get the hell out of? Who's going to help me? And especially the twins, because they're the ones babysitting her. They're like, no, we're not. We've seen your games. Your ancestors did the same thing. We don't give a fuck. Okay, we fuck bitches all day long. You're not new to us.
Exactly. Then, that I think was the most interesting part in her situation, because he drops her there. He tells the twins, you're babysitting my hostage. And again, they already know the routine. And so there's this realization with Winnie that, like, they know who the darling girls are. So like you said, it's real. They're very familiar with the steps that happen. Like, there's a routine here that's been set in place. And they're kind of bored with it. They're not really thinking about it. They're just like, okay, we're going through the process. Like, we've all been here before. It's not our first rodeo. But Winnie, I think it's part of her processing is like, okay, like, I'm here. This is real. They know about everything my mom has been telling me about. And so, like you said, yeah, now there's this urgency, like, I gotta get out of here because
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back home broken like the rest.
Yeah.
So
And
it
that's
becomes a desperate kind of situation for her. And I do not blame her at all
oh no.
because I think in real time, you have to think really fast and on your feet. And she knows what she's good at. And it's
Yeah.
being seductive because that's where she comes from. That's what she
Yeah.
knows.
Yeah. That's a survival mechanism.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, not unfortunately, but like usually when a beautiful girl and a man is involved, she can seduce him. Like she's gonna get what she wants. And I think, but I do like the challenge because she's used to people just like giving her what she wants to that point, at least men. But when these men are like, yeah, no, we don't fuck darlings, it's fine. And she's like, whoa, 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 whoa. What do you mean? She's like, yeah, no, no, we don't. The men are like, no, we don't fuck darlings. Don't worry about it. You're manipulative. We don't fuck with you. And he's like, she's like, wait a minute. How was that a situation? Like, how was that not going to happen? And Gina,
Hello.
so I think she starts to still process it though, and she's still like aiming. Like she goes to Cass. That's when she realizes that because he's the sweeter one. He's the one
And
that is cooking. He's the one, yeah. And she's
Cass
like,
is
that's the
one
weak.
of the twins, by the way. There's Cass and Bash.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yes. Bash is the more of the asshole-ish one. They're both assholes, first of all. Bash is more of the asshole-ish one, but what you call Cass is more of the tender lover, but he's
Yeah.
also vicious. Let's not get it twisted. Everybody's vicious
He
in this story.
is the one where like she's watching everything and he's like, well,
Mm,
she looks hungry. I'm gonna make her some
yeah,
pancakes. And so
yeah,
he makes her some pancakes and it's really
yeah.
sweet. And he's really
Mhm.
excited about her reaction when she eats them. He's just like, oh, she likes my cooking, like, but it's a very, very shallow surface level sweetness with this guy because he can
Oh
flip
yeah,
it anytime.
oh yeah.
Yes.
I did like that part, especially like my personal. This is one of the reasons why I liked him was because he says this thing where he was just like, "Wow, she's so sweet." Like I think she was eating something or whatever. He was like, "Oh damn!" Like really looking at her and examining her, and says like, "All I want to do is tie her up and watch her bleed a little bit." And I was like, and I'm somebody who likes
Ooh.
knife play, and I'm like, okay, this is nice. Tell me because he's still sweet. He was like, I will take care of her. Because I feel like he would be that type.
Oh
He
yeah.
would tie you up, make you bleed a little bit, make you cry, make your mascara run, and then he'll give you a bubble bath. And then feed you cloudberries. I want these
I
cloudberries.
want cloudberries too. They sound so good. Yeah. And he was
Yes.
very into her eating them, by the way.
Oh yeah. I think there's this quote I found. It was like, eating breakfast should not be so fucking sexy.
Yeah.
And because they were getting frustrated because they wanted to fuck her. And he was
And
like,
she
no, no, no,
knew it.
because yeah, oh, you should exactly. She was like, they were like, you
Just
need to
like,
chill the fuck out, bitch. Yeah, exactly. Licking it off her lips. And she's like, oh, am I making a mess? And he's like, yo, I want to wreck this bitch so hard. Is this the part I think where Vane comes in and he like spits in her mouth or something like that? I think that's when
oh
that
no,
happens.
that's later.
That is later. I don't know. That's
Yeah.
the part I really like.
It's later
She
because
was
it's
desperate.
okay. We have 30 minutes to get
I
up
know.
to that point.
Yeah, let's go. We got it. We got it. I believe in us.
So,
But
okay. So they have breakfast. She's using all the things that she needs to try to get in their heads about, okay, we want to fuck her. And she's like,
mhm,
well, as soon as I do, I'm going to manipulate that dude and get what I need
mhm,
to get and get out of here. So she's just she's hunting. She's on the hunt to see which one of them's the weakest, which one of them's got
mhm,
a break, how she can like mess with their little brotherhood that they got going. She's
mhm,
like, okay, well, if I can disrupt that, make some chaos here between all of them, like it's easy. I'm gonna get out of here. So
mhm.
yeah, she's surveying them and they're kind of just like, well, she's a plaything to them,
Yeah.
they're not really taking her seriously at this point, but they do see what she's doing. They're aware,
Mm-hmm.
but they're still kind of falling for it. It's
Mm-hmm.
very interesting. And I feel like they only are falling for it because Peter told them don't touch.
Oh, definitely, because they're little brats. I
They're
think all of them are
brats.
fucking baby brats, all of them. But I think what also is good is that, again, this goes, I feel like even though it's in a book, of course, the audio book really brings it out in their flexions and their tones, where they're like, they're having their inner dialogue where they're just like, she's different. There's something different about her. Like they're naturally more drawn to them. Where the mom, we figure out later that they keep comparing the mom and the daughter, and they're just like, she's not like Mary. We're not really like, because they treated her like a sister. At least how I'm saying it now. We find
Yeah.
out later differently later, but they treat her more like a sister because again, they never fuck darlings. They haven't done anything since so and so and so, and now you have this one who's like, yeah, let's fuck, and they're like, no, no, we're good. You don't work on us, and she's working on them, so that must be something different as well.
Yes.
And aware and don't care. Yep. And I did like that though. I did like the fact that the inner dialogues between they have with Winnie trying to set up a plan. She's like, I'm going to find somebody. If it's not them, I'm going to find somebody else. I don't care. But then the dialogues of the men where they're just like, damn, like I want to fucking wreck her. Like I need to have that. But then he's like, oh, Pan says no. It's like, fuck Pan. I don't give a fuck about Pan. I'll fight him later. But then you realize, again, little brother arguments, because like when that shit hits the fan, they scared.
Let me ask you this. Have you ever been in a situation where you're in a
Mhm.
friend group and you're
Uh-huh.
introduced to that person that is taboo, but
Yeah.
they kind of are flirty with everybody?
Yeah.
It makes for awkward interactions because you're like, I want to flirt with you
Yeah.
because you know how to flirt with me.
Yeah. Well,
But you're like trying not to step on anybody's toes. But at the same
yeah.
time, it's like nobody's claimed this person.
Yeah. Like they're up for grabs. I don't give a shit what Peter Pan says. Or just like in the personal friend group, like unless somebody tells me you really can't or you shouldn't, maybe they did something horrible. I don't know, girl code, whatever, then maybe. Then maybe. Because I'm a natural flirt. I flirt without knowing I'm flirting. So I got to be checked sometimes. And I'm okay with that. I'm like, oops, I'm still gonna get excited. I'm
And
still excited.
if I'm in the bunch, I'm aloof. I don't know until like 3 weeks from that point that
Exactly.
like, oh, I was flirting.
No,
Or they
look,
were flirting with me. I'm like, oh, damage is done. At this
yes.
point, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, it's like, oops, don't worry, it's just flirt, it's just flirt. But definitely. And I think that's why I also like, because it's relatable in the story, right?
Mhm.
Because taboo, like, ooh, okay. Technically, I would say like that's the, I don't know, connected to one of your exes. That's who she is, pretty much. And it's just like,
Mm.
how do we go above that? How do we continue? And I'm like, I don't care. I want to see it. I want to do all of it.
Yeah, and it
And
makes
then
it
I'll get in trouble. Then I get in trouble.
right. It makes it so exciting when people tell you you can't. It's just
Yeah,
you just want the
exactly.
chase. You don't even want everything else. You just want to chase and have a good
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
And I think that's such a like I think another reason why a lot of people love these type of books too, because it shows that more naturally. Like you could be flirtatious. There's no real repercussion if you're not doing anything. Just flirt, it's words, calm down. And that's in my opinion. Like I don't give a shit. I don't care. Like you can flirt when I have my partners, you can flirt with them. I don't care. They come home with me. They with me at the end of the day. You can buy them
Everybody knows.
drinks.
Yeah, me and Carlos are big flirts, and
Yeah.
separate. We don't flirt at the same like with the same person, but
Yeah.
separately, we're very
Yeah.
flirtatious people. Uh, but like you said, it's like whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, so there's that temptation. One of them breaks
Of
in the
course.
book. Yes, one of them
Bash.
breaks. Bash, the other
Bash.
brother, the mean brother.
Yeah, the asshole one. We
Yeah,
love him though too because he's a little whiny boy.
he has something to prove. You know, he sees
Yeah.
his brother getting all the attention from the darling because he was
Yeah.
sweet to her and he cooked for her and he's being attentive, and he's like, fuck that, I'm the better brother.
Yeah.
And I don't like that I'm being ignored, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think that's what and that's another interesting about them too, because Bash, he don't give a shit. He's a son of a bitch. But his brother, he's jealous of him, but he also, I will kill for my brother. Like nobody can do him wrong.
Of course.
And that's why I like, you know, their little scenes after, which we're hopefully we'll get to soon. But when I think he just gets pissed off and he's just like, I need it. And he does it.
That's exactly what it is. He just
does it.
He has a chip on his shoulder. He's just like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this because I can. It ain't because y'all told me not to.
Yep.
You
and
know?
and I think, especially like, I think it starts. I like how it ended. I don't care about the start. I care about the ending, where he pretty much grips her up. He's getting her on the, I think it was a couch or a chair or something, and he's going to town. He is fucking crazy. She's eating it up too, but she is manipulating him at the same time. So she's hyping him up. She's like, yeah, I love this. I love this. Give me more. Give me more.
Yeah,
he's like, yeah, you gonna take this shit.
She's like, Pan ain't gonna do shit. Get what you want.
Yeah, exactly. Get what you want. And then she does it. And the next thing you know, you feel the presence of Peter staring at them. That's my part. Peter is watching them fuck. Smoking a cigarette, just like, oh, that's crazy. You're fucking. And he's like, I'm so sorry. All of a sudden he turns shit. He's like, oh my God. Yeah, he's like, oh my God. Yes, we did. So he's like, oh my God. This is the whole thing. I'm so sorry, Peter. It's not a thing. I apologize. He's like, don't stop.
Oh,
keep fucking her.
It's not even like a don't stop, I'm into this. It's like, I dare you to stop. At this point, I already told y'all what it was. Exactly. Now that you're caught red-handed, I dare you to stop. Like, you have no choice but to finish. And they're like, Winnie's eating it up because she's like, yep, my plan worked. I've already caused some discord. Everything's going my way. Bash, on the other hand, is like scared. Like,
yep. Because I'm about to get fucked up. But then he just keeps fucking. And he fills her up like a cannoli, and we love that for them. And then she's like, oh shit, I'm about to come. And Pan's like, haha, joke's on you, bitch. And like throws her off of him. It was like, what did we learn? What did we learn? You don't get to nut. He gets to nut. I'm going to deal with him later. This is your punishment. She's like, wait a minute. Chill the fuck out, buddy. I was just having fun.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll deal with you later. So he leaves. First of all, I might read that scene again. This is such a good, it's well written in my opinion. I love that scene.
I will say that reading that scene, one, I wasn't prepared. But also, like, I understand why that's a kink, y'all.
Yeah. It is. I love it.
I understand for Winnie's sake. I understand. I don't know that. I'm just saying. I understand that that's a thing.
Delicious. It's delicious. I think that's what it is too, because it plays on the voyeurism. It plays on the taboo of, in general, just being taboo. Like, you shouldn't be fucking her. It goes with the humiliation because they got caught. It goes within so many different layers of kinks, which I fucking live for. I love kinks so much.
But also,
and I analyze those things so bad. Go ahead.
I think the palatable danger also was like what made it most appealing to me. Because like if it was just like, don't you do that? Oh, well, you did it now and I caught you. You better finish. Like that wouldn't really do nothing for me. But the fact that I was like, no, this guy could kill you. He's kind of not all there. Like he's not okay.
It's that challenge and I love it.
Yeah, it's like life or death. Maybe I'm crazy. I'm a weirdo. But like the life or death, like this person could like end us all. I don't know.
I'm into it. I'm into it. I don't care. I wanna go out the best way, and that feels like the best
Yes,
way.
the best way.
Especially, I don't know, like, because what he does after Bash leaves, she's trying to seduce Peter, and Peter's like, I'm not having that shit. I'm not having it. But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to how do I say this? Can I fuck it? He fingers her. Fuck. He just starts smashing into her. And he's eye contact. He's like, break the eye contact. I dare you, ma'am. He's like, break the eye contact. You're gonna come for me because I'm gonna tell you to come. And we're like, as the reader, we're like, okay, we love this. Okay, this is nice. I love this is good soup. I love this. This is good.
Wait,
This
are
is
we
nice.
allowed to say this? Because I'm like, oh my
I
God.
know I have all my stuff. We'll deal with it. We should be fine. We're not showing anything sexual. It's juicy. I saw that earlier.
It
With
is
Raven.
juicy.
Like it's juicy.
And yes, I do like playing with fire. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Fire is a great teacher. That's all I'm going to say.
Exactly. You got to live on the edge. You got to be quicker than that, you know? But when he's like, when he does that to her, it kind of makes her rethink after she climaxes. And it's like, I'm just going to have fun here. She's like, I'm going to get fucked over anyway. I'm going to get broken anyway, possibly. She's still in that survival mode and she's still trying to get her shit, like, to get out. But at that brief moment, she's like, maybe they are too strong for me. Like, maybe it is too much. But we love it. Like I said, Pan. And then after the fact, I think in the next chapter after, of course, his ass is smoking a cigarette yet again. Yes. And he's talking to Vane. Yep. He's talking to Vane. And before Vane comes in, he says, oh, actually, wait, I have the clip. Wait a minute. Because I love his voice in this part. Give me a second.
Oh, you have a clip?
Yeah.
I can still smell her on me every fucking time I bring the cigarette to my mouth. So sweet. So tempting. Christ. Vane leans against the railing, crosses his arms over his chest. And you? He asks. I darken my gaze. What about me? I can smell her on you. I'm not a fucking idiot. I taught her a lesson. You teach yourself one too?
He taught her a lesson. We live for that. Lessons are very, very, yes, we need that. Sorry, I got distracted all of a sudden because I was thinking about that part. Sean Easton is so fucking good as Peter.
Yes. So yeah, that was his conversation with Vane, who I said was like the ninth. Vane caught Peter and was like, oh, we don't fuck darlings, and here you are smelling like her. You got your fingers all crazy. You're all, visibly erect. Like, you can't even hide the fact that you were into this. Like, what are you doing, man? Yeah. Y'all's faces. I'm sorry. Like,
honestly, we love it.
I love every chapter where Peter reads, like, and we need a fuck counter every time he says fuck. We need a counter, like,
we should
in the chapters.
I think I'll do that next episode. It's gonna be great because he says it a lot.
Yeah, we'll count all the cigarettes. We'll count all the times that Peter says fuck. Yep. It'll be great.
Mm-hmm. We love it. But I think what is it? That part I think it also, I like that clip a lot because it's also where Vane is challenging him and keeping him accountable. But he's like, you better check yourself. And he's like, okay, I'm just saying we shouldn't be fucking them, remember? He's like, yeah, I know. Calm down. I didn't fuck her. I just fingered her. That's all I did. Calm down. I still didn't break the rules. But Bash did. You should go talk to him.
Yeah, Bash
did. Fucking rat. He's a rat. A narc.
Oh, but I think at this point, Winnie sees that it is Vane that's wrangling everybody in. And She doesn't want that. She wants the chaos. She's like, no, I did all this so that I can cause chaos, that I can get the hell out of here. And here comes this asshole to wrangle everybody in and get them like snap back into reality. So she challenges Vane. Let me tell you, that's a problem. That's a big problem, because Vane is the scariest one in the room for a reason. There's a reason why everybody fell in line and was like, yep, we're sorry. Yep, won't do it again. Hands are in the air. They're making the shruggy shoulders like, okay.
Like, it's not that serious, bro. It's not that serious. We wrong. We wrong. Hey.
Hi.
And I think, like, I think that's the playfulness about it too, because like Vane is like, I'm tired of this shit. We have a mission and you guys are fucking up. And you're the king of us. You're not supposed to be fucking up, but you're fucking up. Chill. So I think this is when he tries to seduce him.
Yes.
And he's like, oh, okay, bet. And she's putting on a show. Winnie is a performer. I fucks with a performer. She's like, look at me. Look, I'm eating these cloudberries. Look how I can suck on them and shit. And he's like, little bitch, I'll fuck you if I want to fuck you. I don't want to fuck you because you're not worthy of me or with some shit. I don't know. He's very full of himself. For rightfully so, he's a very bad man. He's very, very dangerous. Only one chick is fucking him right now, Cherry. And there's a reason you don't hear about her a lot, because this bitch is always covered in bruises and shit because of him. And if you know, you know.
Like, he's so stoic. Like, you can't read him because he has no tells. He's just, I don't know. He's hard to read. He's deathly serious. Like, nothing, like the others will be playing around, joking around, roughhousing. He's never part of that. He's just like in the background, looking out the window angrily. He's just not the one.
He's just a grumpy cat.
Grumpy
cat.
Grumpy cat for sure.
And
Cherry is there. I don't know. But yeah.
No, Cherry, again, I think she's pretty much irrelevant. She gets, I don't know, more important, but she gets a little more story towards the end and then the other chapter, like the other books. But she loves Vane. And she gets jealous of Winnie a few times. And she can't. She don't want to.
Winnie should take, what was that? Winnie should take them all out like Kill Bill.
She don't want to do that.
She don't want to do that. Had too much fun already. She's like, I want to get home.
This is her element.
Yeah.
This is her element. So she knows how to survive in chaos. So when he's trying to be the peacemaker, which is very, weird to say because he's nothing but he's not peace at all. But he's just like, if you guys don't cut this shit, let's get our shit done and go. Like, I'm tired of it here. And so she's like trying to seduce him. He's like, I don't fucking want you. And then I think he gets her in a position where like you think they're about to fuck, and he spits in her mouth.
He spits in her mouth.
And he says, what is it? He says,
oh my God.
So and that's all you're going to get from me.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I'll
be a good girl. I'll be a good girl.
Oh, I was so disgusted. I was so like, I hate this dude. Oh my God. He's awful. But yeah, he spits in her mouth. It's crazy.
We love that. I love it.
Basically almost made her ask for it, because she was kind of begging. Yeah. Yep. But one thing that we can go back to the parallels between like original fairy tale and the current one that we're talking about. Well, Wendy Darling in the original, her presence with the Lost Boys is the fact that she does end up being a unifying element in their rough and adultless, lifestyle. She ends up being almost like a motherly figure to them, where she does bring a sense of order. She does bring a sense of entertainment, because we did say Wendy is the performer. I mean, Winnie is the performer, just like Wendy was performing and bringing these kids, their bedtime stories and stuff like that in the fairy tale. So in this more adult iteration, she's still a unifying factor in some ways. She's absolutely an entertainer, and they find value in what she does and makes them feel. So you'll see how that plays out. Thanks for the heads up on the spit. I'd be ready to fight. Thank you. Me too. I'm like, don't.
No, I love it.
But
for the right person,
right.
I gotta be in a mood. Like I said before, I don't want no partner of mine.
Vane says, "Fuck your mood. I'm gonna spin on you."
Oh yeah, but that's why I also like it, because like low key, I'm like, oh okay, I like a challenge. I can change him.
There's no change in Vane.
There's no, but I think definitely this is a good part, because like in the chapters after this, that's when we start getting more of the story of why Winnie's getting kidnapped, why her ancestors are getting kidnapped. Where's Hook? Who's the Fae Queen? Because there's gonna be a Fae Queen soon. We love this queen, even though we love her. We don't love her, but we love her, because what the fuck. But anyway, there's so much that's gonna be coming. So right now, like I said, it's just the lulling. It's just getting the story built up. Now it's gonna start being like, this is why you're here, and bam. But I think they go through this actually orgy thing. I don't know. We're gonna probably see orgy in this next one. So prepare yourselves, please, everybody, because I'm gonna talk about the orgy. Okay.
Yes. So if you're going to get caught up with us, we're reading The Never King by Nikki St. Crow. And we have pretty much done about chapters 1 through 10, maybe a little bit of chapter 15. But so next time that we meet, we'll be reading we'll review probably 15 to the end.
Yeah. The book is fairly short. It's only 32 chapters, 33, depending if you add the epilogue. But yeah, like this book is very short. That's why we also recommend it to everybody. Just beware of the traumas or triggers, please. Reach out to us on any of the platforms, and we could always chat about it too. Please. Yes. Especially me, anything kink related, let me know. I will, because I still try to map out how they were putting things in certain things, and I still don't know. But we love it.
Yes. Also, if you're rocking with us and you want to talk to us about the other 3 books that Nikki St. Crow wrote within this lore, so you get the complete series, there is a very strong chance that we'll open a Patreon where you can hear us talk about the other books as well. So anybody giving Win the Glizzy 3000, you'll have to see. You'll have to you'll have to stay.
She be glizzy, and she loves her some glizzies, okay?
Wendy loves
and they love her. I don't care. That's why she keeps getting in trouble. But we love her for that. But
are you a lost boy?
Gang.
Oh goodness.
So we're actually going to be ending the show in a few. So we're just going to run some information. Of course, you guys can always hit us up at any platform. If you think about it, we're on it probably. And that's going to be the Nymphs of Allure on everything. Of course, we have our awesome gang that is supporting us and everything like that, which is going to be the HNIC Network, and coming soon, the Unicorn Universe Network. Show them some loves, follow them, figure all that stuff out, because we're everywhere. And of course, Miss Jazz Queen, go ahead. Tell them where they can find you.
Yes, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, at Black Fade Official. That's my PG, very family friendly thing. But I'm Halcyon Crow if you want to just see my regular content on IG. Or you can follow me on Facebook as Jasmine LaFleur. Also, I have a podcast with Letitia, who is here, called Fabies and Friends, where we have candid conversations with magical people. So I know our first episode, we talked with one of the writers from Castlevania Nocturne on Netflix. And my second episode is an author interview with Sabrina.
There you go.
From Allure of the Wilds is her debut novel that's done very well. So definitely have a listen, and you can listen on iHeart, Amazon Music, and Apple Music.
Perfect. Love that. And of course, I am Ms. Jazelle on all platforms. Obey Miss J, of course, is 18 plus fetish and kink stuff. We could talk about anything there. And my other podcast that we're going to be debuting soon, which is Sexually Speaking, which is a alternative lifestyle and fetish conversation podcast. So if you're into that, let me know. Hit us up. Follow us on all social media because I made them all. We got them. But we are all happy to be here. We love everybody for showing their support and love, and we'll see you guys next time. Okay. Bye.
Yes. And Spotify. Yes. Bye-bye.